his poop hole.
Yes. That one actually made it all the way to proofreading stage. I actually saw something on the other side. So I mean, for me, it was a way to do social media and kind of reach out to fans and say, hey, I'm a person too, and I'm a ridiculous person, and I find this amusing, and I hope you guys do too. You know, without having to do something that felt inorganic to me. Because I mean, I think with Twitter and Facebook and stuff, people can tell when you're just like, hi, let me buy my book. You know, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do, let me share something that I find entertaining with you guys, and maybe some of you will too. So that's been kind of fun for me.
Well, like I said, I appreciate it, and just so you know, I'm Shawnee, and you are my ambassador to Typon.
Ah, yes. We have discussed Taiwanese on a few occasions. Yes. Yes.
Speaking as a male author, how excited are you to kind of branch out into something very different?
The question is from a male author, how I feel about branching out into something completely different, and I'm going to bore you. You're not going to like the answer at all. The bottom line is for me, and maybe this is naive, to me it's nothing new. It just isn't. It's a love story. It's two people that have been in love for a long time. I mean, the way you're just like fantastic, like politically correct, like raw answer.
That is the politically correct answer.
Oh, it is?
That is the politically correct answer. Most go, I'm scared, I don't know what hole to use, there's only one.
Don't use the word hole. That would be good.
We've been doing this. The quote of the day may not be ours.
But my mom's here too.
I'm so proud!
Mom, this is my mother. She just busted cherry.
I have a square basket at my house, actually,
really?
so I'm laughing that somebody might cuss as much as I do.
Well, I mean, but my thing is that I feel like, first of all, you know, I thought that I just want to be careful. I was not expecting to be able to write them as the full-blown book. Okay, I was not expecting that because there are some decisions that are not mine to make, and there are things that I have influence over in my career and things that I simply don't. And so I spoke with my editor I mean, it's been a year, you know, talking to her about this and all this business, and, you know, I think we both got to the point where we're like, you know, fundamentally, this is just a story that needs to be told. And people who don't want to read it, it's like any other story that they don't, maybe their reasoning for reading it might have a political or religious edge, which some people just think I suck, so they won't read it, you know? But I mean, it's like, I just think fundamentally, I want to write the book. And so I was willing to say, however you're willing to put it out there, I will write it. You know? And then all of a sudden, she was just like, you know what? Enough. Just write it. You know? And I guess that's, I mean, so the fact that I don't have some great, steamy, stomping answer for you is really cool. You know what I mean? That it's just, you know.
It's the natural progression, and it's no big deal, so...
It's the right, yeah, it's their time. Yes, you, yes.
My question is, especially with Love and Reap Oranges coming out, and I know there was a lot of discussion in groups that I'm in about No One Autumn and Wellesley, and people really wanted Wellesley to come back. How hard was it for you to write and not be worried about what readers were going to think after reading the book? Because I loved it, because it was so real. Everything was so real. If I had lost my maid and having to pick up the pieces and find a new maid was really real, but how hard was it for you to not worry about
The question is, you know, how hard was it for me to write Tor's book knowing that Wellesley wasn't going to come back? And I have 2 words for you: writer's block. My issue is if I try, the stories are what they are, and I really don't have any control over them. And people were like, well, you killed Wellesley. And I'm like, bitch, please, I didn't do shit. getting expensive. You know, my thing is that I was really nervous to write this book. Actually, more nervous than I was to write Blaine Quinn's book in some ways. Although the thing that makes me worried about writing their book is because I don't want to disappoint readers because it's such a, you know, and that was the thing with Wellesley and Tor and Autumn was that the emotional connection with a lot of readers with Wellesley was so deep that I knew that people were going to have a hard time with it. And so I had all these like, you know, scenes in my head, and I know better. I tried to tinker with a scene in Lover Revealed back in Butch's book, and I had this great idea that I was going to like conserve space, and I was going to consolidate this, and we're going to move on here. And that's, the pictures shut up, the voices shut down, I was left with nothing.
This is about the longest month of my life.
Yeah, because I was calling her on the phone. Nothing, I got nothing. You know, and then I realized that my job as an author is to take the stories that are floating in the ether over my head and get them on the page. And my job is to do that in such a way so that the reader can at least have a shot at seeing what I see. That's all I got. I'm not smart enough to think this stuff up. I just have to go with what I'm shown. So I knew all along that Wellesley was going to die. It was a surprise that it happened in the third book. I knew all along that Tor was going to end up with another, I mean, like from Dark Lover, I knew that this was going to happen, which meant it was a killer for me to write the Wellesley scenes for the first like couple of books. I mean, especially with the John Matthews stuff in Lover Eternal. It was the woman with the damn ginger sauce, and she's giving to him, she knows what he's doing. And then she's walking around that goddamn kitchen going, I love the kitchen. I'm like, just enjoy it while you got it. You're not going to be cooking in it very long. I mean, the thing was. That's great. Out of money. How much time do we have left? No, seriously, how much time do we have left? $20 worth. So, you know, my thing was that I was nervous that readers weren't going to get it. Absolutely. So the first decision that I made, because I had all these scenes with he and Autumn, is I'm like, we need a year to do this. Because again, I don't have any chronology, but I'm like, there's no way this is happening in anything shorter than a year. And I thought that, you know, some people felt that Tor was really cruel to Autumn, and he actually, and I actually, it was funny when I turned the first draft in and I told my editor, I was like, there's one scene in this that you are not going to like, and I didn't like it, and I think that people who are hurt and wounded do really bad stuff, and it isn't that he's a bad guy, it's that he's in a really bad spot, and I've done things I've regretted because I've been, you know, whatever. I think that it's just part of the way you get through life. And she was strong enough to withstand that, you know. So anyway, I can totally get where people are coming from, where they're like, I don't want a part of this. But I also really appreciate the readers who are like, this was great. Now I understand how this is possible, you know.
You get to pick something.
For you?
Yay.
Okay, so, Red Boar's back. Permanently? But Rabbit's gone, but Myrene's only like 5% alive.
Maybe 5% alive, like you have like a clicker.
A little bit, yeah. No,
Yes.
at the end of the book that just came out, I blew some shit up.
Yeah!
I'm proud to blow that shit up.
No, that's not hand motion. Oh, you just said shit twice. Maya, do you have some more ones?
We'll be happy to buy y'all drinks.
Can I buy a $10 bill?
So
Okay.
to answer the question about sort of what happened at the end of Magic Unchained, without spoiling horribly for people who haven't yet bought the book, yeah, a lot of stuff went down at the end there, and you know, because the world's about to blow up in general, so you know, you kind of, things are starting to go all over the place, right?
Oh, right. Oh, this is great. Look, this is awesome.
Were you not interested in the concept of slide and
I really wasn't. I'm a lawyer, not a mathematician. I was like, go buy a 10. I'm like, I'm not putting this in. This is a $10 bill. You idiot. Take the ones
I imagine you standing up here going, F, F,